Rain splashed across the cracked pavement as a small girl, barefoot and trembling, sprinted down the street. Her voice cut through the noise of traffic. "Please, someone help! They're beating my mama!" She crashed into a police officer standing by his patrol car, clutching his arm, tears streaking her dusty cheeks. Officer Daniels knelt quickly, alarm flashing in his eyes. "Who's hurting your mama?" he asked. The girl's voice broke. "The landlord and his brothers. They're hitting her right now. Please, sir, come." Without waiting, Daniels scooped her up and radioed in for backup. As his car tore down the narrow road, his heart pounded. When they reached the house, the wooden door hung loose, the sound of muffled cries seeping through. He kicked it open. Inside, a woman lay sprawled across the floor, bruised and barely conscious. 3 men stood over her, startled by the intrusion. "Police! Step back now," Daniels barked, gun drawn. The men hesitated but sneered. "This is our business, officer," one spat. "She owes rent." She had it coming. Daniel's voice rose, firm and furious. "Hitting a woman is nobody's business. Hands on your head." 2 of them bolted for the back door, but backup sirens wailed outside just in time. Within minutes, they were handcuffed. The mother's faint whisper cut through the chaos. "Please, my daughter." Daniels turned, and the little girl clung to her mother's side, sobbing. Hours later at the hospital, Daniels sat beside the woman's bed. She winced as she tried to speak. "They've been threatening me for weeks," she whispered. "I paid the rent, but they wanted more. When I refused, they came today." Her voice cracked. "I thought they'd kill me." Daniel's jaw tightened. "You did the right thing, not giving in. We'll get them charged." But as he filed the report, his supervisor pulled him aside. "Daniels," he said quietly, "drop this case." The landlord's connected. "Let it go." Daniels stared in disbelief. "Sir, she was nearly beaten to death in front of her child." His superior shrugged. "You've got a family to think about. Don't pick fights you can't win." That night, Daniels couldn't sleep. The image of that little girl's face haunted him, her small hands shaking, her voice trembling. "Please help my mama." He knew letting it go would make him complicit. By morning, he'd made his choice. He began collecting witness statements in secret. Neighbors, afraid but angry, whispered stories of intimidation and violence from the same landlord. Daniels photographed the bruises, recorded testimonies, and stored everything on his personal drive. When he returned to the station, his superior glared. "You just can't follow orders, can you?" Daniels met his eyes coldly. "Not when a child watched her mother bleed while everyone stayed quiet." Later that week, Daniels knocked on the landlord's heavy iron gate. The man came out smirking. "Back again, officer? You can't touch me. People like me don't go to jail." Daniels didn't answer. A moment later, several patrol cars pulled up behind him, lights flashing. A news crew jumped out, cameras rolling. "Actually," Daniels said, "you're under arrest. And this time the world is watching." The man's smirk vanished as handcuffs clicked shut. Neighbors peeked from behind their windows, whispering in disbelief. The little girl, holding her mother's hand at a distance, whispered, "He did it, Mama." Her mother smiled weakly, tears filling her eyes. "Yes, baby." He did. Weeks later, the neighborhood buzzed with change. The landlord's power was gone, and the mother had recovered enough to return home. One morning, as Daniels finished paperwork at his desk, he noticed a small folded drawing on top of his files. It was from the little girl. In shaky crayon lines, she had drawn him with angel wings, standing between her and her mother. Beneath it, in big, uneven letters, "My hero." Daniel swallowed hard, smiling. When the girl visited with her mother that afternoon, he knelt beside her. "You were the brave one," he told her softly. "You saved your mama first. Don't ever forget that." The girl beamed. You came when nobody else would. As they left, Daniels watched them walk hand in hand into the sunlight. He exhaled, feeling something he hadn't in a long time. Peace. Sometimes courage wasn't about the badge or the uniform. It was about doing what's right, even when the world says to stay silent. And maybe, just maybe, that small voice shouting for help was the one that reminded him what justice really means. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to hit subscribe, like, and share it with someone who still believes that kindness and courage can change the world. And tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were that officer?